Greetings. Today we're going to talk about avoiding people, and to be more specific, not giving people closure. What does that mean, right? What does it mean not to give people closure or to avoid people? Generally, I'm talking relationships. Generally, I'm talking friendships. Generally, I'm talking family, if that's your thing. Because generally, like I'm okay with my family, but some people aren't, right? Like you fight with your family, stuff like that, and there's always a problem, which is it's much easier, right? Much easier just to run away. What does that mean? Not talk to them, not talk talk to them, not give them closure because that's really difficult to give people closure. Not suffer the uncomfortable experience that ultimately may be futile, right? Especially since um, stubbornness comes from both sides usually, and that's assuming there's a fight. Or another circumstance, let's say you took a different life course, or you just drifted apart, right? Your friends drifted apart, or your interests are the same, or the person now bores you, like your life, like your childhood friend got into World of Warcraft and his world became video games, but you're still a regular guy who goes to cafes. Like, there's clearly a very difference of interest here, and what most people do is like the relationship just kind of breaks, right? Just breaks, drifts apart slowly until nobody knows anybody, and only when that guy a tragedy hits him or something happens to him do you catch up and you go and you're like, oh, we should catch up more, and then you never do, right? Well, here's the thing. I'm against that. I'm against people not giving each other closure. I'm against people not giving certain people closure. I am pro discomfort for the sake of closure. Why? Because generally, at least I can talk from my experience. Others can talk from theirs, but often I've found that the best way to deal with an issue is to resolve it quickly and to resolve it efficiently, and to make any concession that is needed in between, right? What does that mean? Um, Say you're sitting down, right? Like you're sitting down and you're thinking about somebody who you love or you cherish and who you had a disagreement with. If I'm the guy sitting down, what I do is all I can think about is how can I resolve it, because I want to go past this. I feel there will be no progress if we don't handle the situation or at least talk about it and reach a consensus. Most people either is like, neglect it and pretend nothing has happened and wait for things to escalate, or things escalate or things already escalated rather, and their solution is either to avoid the person for a while, or that eventually becomes like avoid the person forever, or even like just maintain distance and just I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Can we talk about last night? No, I don't want to talk about it. Here's the thing. Every argument I got to with a friend or a family member, every disagreement, every whatever, it always ended up with a constructive outcome. Not what I wanted, not always, but a constructive outcome. We negotiated, if you will, within reason, right? Negotiated what I want, what you want, and how we can make this happen with us both getting what we want, right? In the end, we cherish each other, so we should like reach a consensus. Why the stubbornness? This especially happens in families and with like a parent child like relationship, which is the parent washed your butt, like they know, like because of that they think they know you top to bottom. They've seen you grow, so like to them, like why are you like this or whatever, or why are you like in the end they think the best of you, right? I'm talking about like a general parent. They don't know what that best is. They don't know how to do it. They don't know any method of parenting that can possibly work. But they want the best for you. They mean well. That's what I'm trying to say here. Not all parents, but generally parents mean well. In your case, you know what you want, but you don't really know how to say it, and you don't really know how your parents can understand it. And every time you try to tell them, they don't really listen. Right? Things are weird. So you get a big fight or something happens, and it ends up with everybody just not talking to everybody, or not talking about the issue, to be more specific. Um, then long time passes, somebody dies, and then the other party who didn't die starts crying. I never got to say how much I love him. I never got to say, like, why? Why did you put yourself in that shoes, right? And that's my thing. To me, I only avoid in very loose quotation marks because I don't avoid people, but I only, like, let's say, cut ties on very loose ends with somebody if I know that if he dies tomorrow, I'm not gonna miss him, or I'm not gonna feel bad about it. We weren't that close, right? We talked. We didn't like cut of each other's jib, but it was initial contact. Everybody's rubbing, and we are acquaintances, and we won't say no. But let's say for like a big, strong friendship, that wasn't that up to par. If that guy dies, I'm like, bummer, right? Like, that's sad. Thoughts for his family. I'll visit the funeral, but there won't be any, I could have talked to him more, or we should have been better friends, or because, okay, we already knew, right? Or at least I already knew. um, but when it's a very close friend and we drifted apart, and that needs closure, I need to sit with that guy, talk about it, as in, I know we're drifting apart, I know this sucks, but that's the reality of the situation. Let's say our goodbyes properly, instead of pretending like we're still friends, or and not talking to each other. And if somebody catches you drunk enough or whatever, you say like, we used to be good friends, but now he sucks and I don't know what to do. No, just talk. Okay, you're into World of Warcraft, I'm not into it. Or let's say you think he's doing a bad thing, and you don't want to be part of his life because you think he'll get you into trouble. Be honest. He'll hate you for it, but if you die, he'll know. Or if he dies, you at least told him, instead of, that bitch has avoided me, you know, like avoided me for 100 days or 100 whatever, or 5 full years, or whatnot. I don't care, right? How the period, and then one guy died, and I was like, I don't understand why he avoided me. I didn't know what I did. Well, please, like, give people closure, right? I'm so pro this because I think so. Like, a lot of unhealthiness in our society happens from people just being pussies, and not pussies as in, you are scared of blood. No, even like full-grown men who like went to the army are afraid to, like, emotionally express something like that. Like, dude, we're drifting apart. It's done. It's a relationship. It's comes from your heart. No. We avoid it. Instead, we avoid it. And I'm like, when you're ill, you go to a doctor. And if you don't, you're a dumbass. Right? Oh, toughen it out, dumbass. And if a relationship is falling apart, that's an illness too. And closure is one way to deal with it. The other way is, of course, sitting down, talking about it, but that doesn't always work, right? Especially with parents, especially with friends who already made up their mind and nothing can change it. At least closure, right? If you can't, why let the wound fester when you can at least wrap it? You don't have to treat it, at least wrap it and make sure it sticks and the scar shows and, like, everything tries to recover nicely. Why burn bridges when you can just keep them there? You know? Like, I know these people, I'm like, burned every bridge they possibly know, and they sit lonely now. And they ask me why they're lonely. Of course you're lonely. You burned every bridge you can possibly conceive of, Start making new bridges, or start, like, repairing the old ones. But whatever you do, don't, like, leave these loose ends loose, right? Tie them up. If it was important to you, tie it up, all right? This is my 2 cents today. Have a good day.